Hey guys, hey YouTube, it is Noomi Stacker and I'm back with you again. This time we're going to try and discuss a really interesting question. I know that money is hard to come by. I know that it's often difficult to know what kind of things to buy, whether to pay rent, pay the mortgage, or buy beautiful coins. It's always a really hard decision to take each month. At least I know I find it a hard decision. But what I wanted to do is pose you a question, and to pose it against a backdrop of some stunning coins at different levels of the market. None of them, not one of them, is right at the bottom of the market. All of them have kind of merit as numismatic items in one way or another, right up to the very top of the British coin marketplace. So the question really is it better to buy one amazing thing, or is it better to buy multiple purchases at a lower level? Have you got more potential by buying a number of coins and then trying to make something from those, or is it more potential just buying something exceptional, rare and very special and fabulously expensive, just like the coin that you're seeing here, where there's maybe only 2 or 3 of these particular coins in the whole world? Is it better to bust the bank? Is it better to invest everything in something which is outrageously beautiful and at the top of the market? Or is it better to eliminate the risk of buying that one expensive, very beautiful item by buying several different items at a lower value with less risk inherent in each of those individual items? And be very interesting to see what your comments are, and whether you would, if you had unlimited money to spend, say you had £10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and you had to invest in coins. You may decide, if you're in America, to buy American coins. You may decide, if you're in England, to buy English coins, or you may decide that it doesn't really matter where you are, you'll just buy the coins that you like and you want. So in this second part of the video, I just want to show you the coins that a friend of mine chose to buy at the Charles Wander auction at Baldwin's. I bought something. I chose personally to be one particular coin, very expensive, instead of 10, 15 lesser coins. But what would you do? And you can see here the choices over the next 17 minutes that my friend made, all the different coins that he purchased. Overall, the cost was actually quite a lot more than the coin that I purchased, the one special one, but he's got a lot here for his money. And the question is, which strategy is better? Is there a strategy that's better? Does it really matter at all which way you go? He bought this coin. It's not graded. It's a beautiful coin, but it's got it's a very rare coin, but it's got a gash through it. So the price was reflected on that. It probably can't be graded because it's a details grade coin, even though it's very beautiful, on account of the gash just by that bullhead King George III on the front. He chose a number of coins that had been already graded by PCGS, and then a number of other coins that were raw. It's always a little bit difficult to work out when you have a major collector like this that has a single collection coming up for auction. Why are these coins raw? Is it because the guy never got around to grading them? Did he make a decision not to grade them on purpose? Did he feel that they wouldn't be graded? Did he feel it wasn't worth grading them? Because the buyer now is having to make a decision on exactly those things. Bought them as ungraded. Should they be graded? Should they just stay in their sealed Pat Baldwin's of St James's packet? Should they be graded with his provenance? Should they be graded with the Charles Wonder provenance? Should we ask NGC to use both of them to say it is the Regal collection, because all of these coins you're seeing here were bought by my very good friend and YouTuber Regal Stacker, and should they have, for example, the Regal collection for the new owner and X Charles Wonder collection for the pedigree on the same label, so that anyone buying them in the future knows their full history of who has owned those coins in recent years. But you can see the coins that he's chosen. He's tried to choose good quality coins. He likes sovereigns, so there's some proof sovereigns, there are some shieldbacks, there are some St. George's, there are some regular. I don't think any of them are real bullion sovereigns, because even the ones that aren't proof are probably brilliant uncirculated finish, which is actually finished by the mint to a higher standard. So none of them are total baseline coins. But some of them like this, you can just see, MS64, PCGS, you can see the fields on these coins. He's chosen really nice examples of slightly lower end coins. Is it better to find these nice examples of kind of ordinary, more ordinary coins for the future? Is it better to have lots of these things? Which ones would sell more easily? I think that any of these coins that he bought, if they were put individually back into an auction or on eBay or Facebook groups or forums, every single one of these coins would sell probably for at least what was paid for them. I don't think any of them would represent a loss even after buyer's premium, and they would sell pretty easily. They're obviously not quite as liquid as generic bullion, but I found higher grade regular coins like this. There are so many people who want to buy this kind of stuff, and when I'm bidding against anyone for this kind of stuff at auction, this is where the bids are. The bids are high quality, nice on the eye, numismatic sovereigns, and I think that there's a lot of interest in sovereigns, and whether it's from Japan, America, Canada, Australia, there's a lot of parts of the world that know and recognize these kind of coins and treasure them. As a little side note, sometimes there's a bit of confusion. This one was in the catalogue, the Baldwin's catalogue, 1891 Jubilee Het Sovereign, and it was marked DG closer to the rim, or wherever the DG is closer or further away from, and it was marked as rare, but people I've spoken to don't really understand. Maybe it's not quite so rare, it may have been misdescribed. It still went for the right price. And this one, this is worth an aside. This is actually one of my favourite coins that he bought. It's a 1933 proof 65 sixpence. In 1933, there were no sixpences minted apart from VIP proofs. So this wasn't a generally available coin. It went to a certain restricted audience. There are relatively few of these coins that were minted, and whereas a regular sixpence might be £5 or something, this is probably £500 or something for this coin. Pretty rare coin, and I really like the idea of these VIP proofs or proofs of record, and that's something I think that a lot of collectors who have the money to invest in these type of coins, that's the kind of thing they're looking for. So, effectively, it's a rare, interesting coin, but it isn't in the £5,000, £10,000. It's not at the higher level, but it's still got an interesting story attached to it. And I think a lot of these coins are, anything with it when it comes to shieldbacks over 61 in grade is really, really good. 63, it's going to be probably close to £1,000 coin, whereas a regular shieldback at a lower grade might be 300 or 350 pounds. So let's get back on the subject. So the question really is whether it's better to buy one super rare coin, very expensive, and whether it's better to buy that or a number of lower level coins. I mean, we're talking about lower level coins here that are pretty high level anyway. Let's take the super rare coin. You know, if you fancy liquidating a coin that is £20,000, £15,000, it's not going to be something that you can easily dispose of without some form of professional help. There is a limited audience for that kind of coin. It would usually be bought and sold through an auction house. Each time you buy and sell through an auction house, there's something between 10 and 25% buyer's premium, depending on where you choose in the world to sell that coin. Say you need the money urgently. It's not necessarily going to be that straightforward to get the value and the liquidation of that coin in an immediate way. Although a lot of the big auction houses do actually advance quite a good proportion of the value, the expected auction value of an expensive coin. So they can finance giving you that money back whilst they take 2 or 3 months to describe, publicize and auction that particular coin off. So generally, the more expensive a coin, the less liquid it is going to be, and the longer the time horizon is going to be. For example, whilst there are regular weekly auctions at all the big auction houses, you've got eBay, you've got all these kind of places to sell coins quite quickly. If you have a coin valued at, say, between £5,000 and £15,000, there are only a certain number of auctions throughout the year that can sustain the buyers at the level to buy those coins, and they need to be presented properly in a catalogue. They need to be researched. They need to have their pedigree or their authenticity looked at, and they need to be, I suppose, presented over a period of a couple of months, so that the people who are in that very rarefied market in the world understand and can see that that coin is available. Even people who are quite wealthy may have to sell other items to purchase that coin from you if you have a coin that is £15,000-20,000 and want to get a really good market price for it. So that process can take several weeks or months, and usually the big auction houses in the UK, which are Spink, DNW, Baldwin's, Heritage, and the big American auction houses, Stax, Goldberg, again Heritage in America, they all have specific big floor auctions that coincide with major events in the numismatic timetable throughout the year. So when you assign a coin, or when you consign a coin to the big auction houses, they will look at the value of that coin, they'll look at how exciting it is in relation to the presentation of that coin in one of their major catalogues, and they will take a view on whether your coin should be sold at a floor auction, an internet-only auction, or a weekly auction. And generally, the lower the value, the quicker you will then get that sale if you want to, but maybe it won't be marketed to such a wide audience as with say a floor auction at a major event. And what they normally do, even at a major event, is they break down their auctions over a period of maybe 6 sessions, and each session either specializes in a certain type of coin. So all the American coins are sold with other American coins, British coins are sold with world coins. Please somebody tell me why it's always ancient and world coins that go into an auction. I can't really see the connection between those two. And what you have is, depending on the value of the coin, it goes into an appropriate session. Sometimes it's floor auction with real bidders bidding in a room, internet, telephone, throughout the world. And then at a lower level, it could be a completely automated auction, a bit like eBay, over the web as an internet only session. And those sometimes sell coins for significantly less value. So effectively what you have is these very, very expensive coins. They always seem to have a market. You never, there's never a time when you can't liquidate really, really good quality coins that are rare. You can always sell them. So in terms of not being able to get your money back out of these kind of coins, it's not a situation where there is no way of doing it, but it takes time and patience, knowledge, expertise, and maybe working with a number of different auction houses depending on who is the best one for that particular type of merchandise, type of coin. So that's one thing that you could do. At the other end of the spectrum, the Regal Stacker way of doing things, he was bidding remotely and looking at the prices that were realized online at the auction, and chose everything that he thought was either something with an interesting story or a particularly good grade, or maybe he was looking at which coins didn't have a whole load of other people bidding against him. And quite often when you're buying these type of coins, it's actually very, very much better not to put bids in advance, but to actually be online at the time the auction's happening and see where people are spending their money. Sometimes what you get is a run of coins. I've seen auctions which have 10 1871 sovereigns. The first 8 go for maybe quite a higher price than the last 2. When everyone's got bored with buying 1871 sovereigns, maybe a bidder in the room picks one up for a bargain, maybe an online bidder makes a bid at less than he would have had to pay to buy the first few. And there is a kind of psychology of bidding for these things at auction. So if you want to give yourself an advantage, be there in the room, be there over the web, have the patience to sit through, don't necessarily buy the first one that comes up. And you can end up like this, bidding for these beautiful coins. This one is an exceptional sovereign, 2 sovereign proof coin. Nobody could ever call this coin a low-end coin in any way. It's actually a high-end coin. But in relation to the purchases that he made, these coins are probably the most expensive, and they're very high-end coins, which are special. But a lot of the others were, not that dissimilar to, the kind of prices you would end up paying on eBay for things. But that you're buying good quality items from a reputable auction house with some kind of background in terms of ownership as well. So as we draw to the end of this long video, hopefully you've been enjoying these amazing coins and not fed up with hearing me drone on about all these things over 20 minutes. What would you do? That's the big question. If you had, say, a budget of $10,000 to spend on a coin, or £10,000 or 10,000 euros, what would you do? Would you buy 1 or 2 coins that were very, very special? Or would you buy 10 coins that were less special and maybe slightly easier to liquidate? Please do tell me exactly what you do. Please tell everybody else and share opinions on it, because I think it's a really interesting subject, and obviously not a subject that just everybody will be in a position day by day to decide to do, but the same arguments also work between a $500 coin and a $50 coin. Is it better to buy one or two expensive coins or several coins that are cheaper and more liquid?